Hey, this is Tony with Salt Strong, and in this video I wanted to share a few reasons as to why you should be using a light line when fishing inshore. Now, this doesn't pertain to fishing, jetties, piers, or any of that heavy type of structure. This is just mainly if you're fishing inshore flats, creeks, coastal marsh areas, and things like that. If you have heavy structure in your area, definitely want to go up in your line size, but fishing open flats where you have to be stealthy, line size is going to be very critical. Now, if you haven't done so already, definitely be sure to give this video a like and also subscribe to our channel where we put out fishing tips on pretty much a daily basis to help you catch more fish. So as far as the line that I use for inshore, it is 10-pound Power Pro braid. It's just the original Power Pro. I've used other types of lines, some of these more advanced super lines, and I really don't like them much. The original Power Pro, in my opinion, is probably the most reliable that I've used. Don't experience wind knots very often. You're still going to get them from time to time, and also the breaking strength is very, very strong. This 10-pound braid, I put it under a scale and pulled on it, and it broke anywhere from 15 to 20 pounds. So 10-pound original Power Pro is what I go with. So probably the number one reason as to why I go with this lighter line and a thinner line is going to be casting distance. You're going to get a much longer cast with 10-pound braid as opposed to 15 or 20, and also your casts are going to be a lot more accurate. So thinner line, longer cast, more accuracy. And next, which sort of ties into accuracy and distance, is going to be stealth. Thinner lines are a lot more stealthy than thicker lines, and the reasoning behind that is because thinner lines are going to cut through the water more easily as opposed to the thicker lines, which create a lot of resistance in the water, and when you're twitching lures they create a lot of pressure changes in the water, and the fish can pick up on that. They have a lateral line that goes across the length of their body, and that's where they pick up pressure changes. So like when a bait fish is moving around in the water or struggling, they could pick up on that. And if they feel something out of the ordinary, like your line slapping around or anything like that, it's going to spook those fish. So thinner line, definitely good for stealth because cuts through that water much easier. Also with stealth goes back to the casting distance. If you can get a nice long cast on those fish further away, the less likely you are to spook those fish. Now lastly, and something that a lot of people don't realize, is that thinner lines, you're actually going to get less wind knots with thinner lines if they're spooled on properly, and obviously there's some other factors that come into play, but mainly it comes down to line speed. Now I have a whole video on this, which we'll link down below, on wind knots and how to avoid them, but when it comes to line speed, if you're using a very heavy line, and you're using light lures, which you're typically doing inshore, what's going to happen is your lure is going to cast out of your rod, going to go out the rod tip. All the line behind it is still coming out pretty quickly. And as that lure slows down, that line is going to start overlapping itself and catching up to itself, and you're going to have some tangles in your line. So that heavy line with a light lure, not a good combo because that's going to create a lot of wind knots. So lighter line with light lures is going to be more appropriate, and that will definitely cut down on how many wind knots you get. Again, because it comes down to line speed. You want a consistent line speed as opposed to a varied line speed coming out of your spool to your first guide and then out of the rod tip. And again, we have a whole video on that which you could check out down below. So hopefully these tips can help you out and also possibly answer a few questions people may have as to why you would want to use really light line when fishing inshore. Again, this mainly pertains to fishing open flats, creeks, bays, anything like that. If you're fishing piers, jetties, bridges, heavy structure, you definitely want to go with a heavier line, and we'll talk about that in another video. So if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them down below. Until next time, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.
Hey there, it's Joe Simons, one of the co-founders here at Salt Strong, and have you claimed your free pack of these irresistible slam shady paddle tail lures? We designed this lure with over 12,000 serious inshore anglers, including many full-time guides, to go out there and catch more redfish, more speckled trout, more snook, more flounder, more inshore saltwater slams. And if you want a free pack to try out a sample yourself, click down below right now. We have one free pack per angler while supplies last. Click down below right now.